Hey, you guys, welcome. My name's Connie. Some of us have met, some of us have been chatting in Facebook or in the Facebook group. We're going to talk today all about web stories. Okay. They are such a great way to drive traffic to your blog. Okay. I always get asked, like, does it work for any niche? Yes. Okay. There's probably a few, well, I'll say almost any niche. I think if you're a service provider, it's a little bit difficult. If you're a local business, it's a little bit difficult. But as long as you have blog posts and as long as there is search volume, you've got potential. Okay, so we're going to dive into everything. If you have questions, you can respond to the email that I sent you, or you can simply go into my Facebook group and ask the questions there. Or if it's private and you're like, I don't know if I want to ask this in front of everybody, you can just message me on Facebook, okay? And I'm happy to answer those. But we're going to jump in here right quick. So the first question I kind of want to answer is, what is a web story? Because I get that a lot with people. Like there seems to be a little bit of confusion. I want you to think about the different social media platforms, right? We have TikTok, we have Instagram stories, Instagram reels, we have YouTube shorts. And I think what Google was trying to do is just they've realized that people love video. Our attention spans are horrible. Right? Like they're horrible. And so what a web story is it's only on mobile. Okay. So it's only on a phone. And it's really, they take the slides that you create and create a video. Okay. So it creates that video and it should tell a story. Okay. Unlike some of the other platforms where people are just talking and being silly, that's really not what web stories are. They're really a story and making sure that you understand that somebody is searching for an answer. Okay. So when you're looking at your keywords, which we're going to jump in tomorrow, is the next one is all about keywords because it really needs a dedicated space of what is working, what I'm seeing, really how to find great keywords. Okay. But for today, I want you to do something. I want you to grab your phone. Okay. I'm going to try to share my screen and see if this will pull up. It might not. Let's try this real quick. Okay. So if you're on, so you guys, this is not sharing whatsoever. So I'll put some screenshots here so you guys can see it. I've tried this multiple times. It's not sharing. When you're on your phone though, let me see if I can show it this way. If somebody is just scrolling, okay, they're just scrolling, then they're going to see things and it looks like a blog post, right? Like this looks like a blog post. But if I click this, it's a story. Okay, so it's given me a little bit. I've probably searched Peach Cobbler or I've actually been on their website, one of the two. Okay, so it's keywords or it's you've been on their site. Okay. And you can see here it just scrolls through and there's a little button down here at the bottom and I can click that and then it takes me to that recipe. Okay, it's typically at the top. Now some people's settings may prevent that a little bit. But once you start to see stories, then you'll see them often. Okay, it's how they're kind of rolling out. Like you can see, and what you can see is I didn't search for that at that moment, right? It was I opened up my app, I opened up Google, and there were keywords that I've been searching for. Okay. Now, sometimes when I'm writing blog posts, then I will see lots of stories on whatever I was writing about or whatever I was doing stories about. because those are the keywords I've put in there in Google. Okay. Google's super smart. They track what we're doing. Okay. So, anyway, that's what a web story is. It's only on mobile. It needs to have really great photos. Okay. A couple of things I see all the time is people put in things that slide in or videos or things like that. If somebody doesn't have great Wi-Fi in that moment, then it will completely shut down your web story. So if you've gotten the workbook, I want you to keep that super simple. That's why I don't put a bunch of slide ins and do all the things. I find that it just doesn't work. Okay. It doesn't convert as well. Hands down doesn't convert as well. So you want to keep it super simple. Couple benefits of just doing web stories is if you're on an ad network, especially Mediavine, the price that they pay you per 1,000 clicks will go up. I've heard that from every person I've worked with. Your views are going to go up, like the amount of clicks to your blog post are going to go up. For a brand new blog post, typically it takes 3 months or so for it to kind of get some traction. When you do 2 to 3 web stories within about 2 weeks of that blog post, you will see that traffic increase, which is a great sign to Google that people are interested, that people want more information on that. So it starts to rank faster. Okay. And that's a huge benefit compared to your competitors. Okay. I find even now, a lot of people are not doing web stories. So I'm going to show you, how about we spy on a couple of competitors? How about that? Okay, let me show you just really quick how to figure out if your competitor is doing web stories. Okay, let's get it in. Let me open up a new. So let's just pull up. I'm trying to think who. Well, let me show you. So you can put in any website. Okay, can't think of one off the top of my head. But you're going to put backslash. You're going to put web dash stories. Okay, so this is great when we talk about keyword research, and in the bonus when I talk about how to rank higher with blog posts by using keywords. This is something that you want to look at. Okay, so any blog, any website, you can put in the blog name backslash web stories. Okay, and then you're just going to click hit return. Okay, if they have web stories, it's going to pull up all of the web stories that they have. Okay, so if somebody, let me pull up one. Let's just find one. Let's just pull up a random one. Okay, so a lot of the big companies don't have them at all. Okay, so like here's Half Travel. Let's look at theirs and see. Okay, so I'm going to take off everything to here. And I'm going to put in web stories. Okay, so you'll either get a 404 or something like this. Okay, and that tells me they're not doing web stories. Okay, so I love when I'm using RankIQ to write that blog post. I will go in and look to see if those 1 to 5 spots have web stories. Okay, because that's a good indicator. If they're not, that you can take away that traffic from them. Okay, so go in and play with it just a little bit and see, kind of look at your competitors, see if they're doing it. If they are doing it, what kind of things are they talking about? Okay, I do this all the time. Because a lot of times when we're going to talk about keywords tomorrow and when we create your web story, we're going to really talk about this. Okay, some of the biggest problems I see is the H1s are wrong. Okay, like what they're putting for their H1 is completely off. It's not getting any traffic. And then people are like, it's not working. You did it wrong. Okay, is usually why. So I want you to kind of spy a little bit. Okay. So let's answer some of these. Let's kind of go through this. So what is a web story? I've already answered that, right? Let me do this under present so you guys can see. So we've answered that. What is a web story? How many per day? Okay, I get this question all the time. And here's typically what I get. Well, I've done 3. I've done 3 for the month. Okay, guys, this is about consistency. Okay, it's kind of like blog writing. When somebody tells me, well, I've written 3 blogs, how come I'm not monetized? Huh? Like, we all know it takes consistency, right? So ideally, you want to be doing 2 stories Monday through Thursday. Okay, now what I have found is that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Google doesn't really index. Now I'm retesting this with the core update because I'm seeing something and I just want to test it out. Okay. So I will give you an update once I've tested it for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't like to give it out before then just because I really want to look at my data. So at least 2 per day. Here's the great thing. Okay. I'm going to show you on the 3rd video how I organize everything. Okay. How I keep up with clients, how do I organize everything, how to put them in draft so that maybe you want to batch them. Okay. And then you're just going to go in there that day and make sure, you've got it organized. And then you're going to be like, okay, I need to publish this one and I need to publish this one. And then you've got everything already done. This is a great thing you could get a virtual assistant to do. Okay. Maybe you're not to the point where you're ready for done for you services. This is where you could do all the keyword research and you could teach them, show them the workbook. Okay. I don't care if you do that. But go in and teach them to go ahead and create those web stories, put them in drafts so you can review them, and then, or even just hire them to go in and just go ahead and publish and index. Okay. Totally up to you. Make it easier on yourself. Okay. So, but 2 per day, Monday through Thursday. Okay. You can do more if more traffic. Okay. Like the more you do, the more traffic you get. Okay. It's really about your keywords. Okay. So let's talk about the difference post versus stories, because this seems to be something that confuses the heck out of people. Okay. I get this all the time. Here's the difference. Let me explain the difference. Okay. When you write a post, what are you looking for? You're looking for low keyword difficulty, right? And a large enough search volume. So I personally I use KeySearch. It's like $11 a month with a 30% discount that I'll leave the link to. And I will do a custom report in RankIQ. Okay, I love RankIQ. I don't always love the library because a lot of that search volume is like 500 for the year. Okay, that's not enough search volume. Okay, so you want to be able to find those low keywords and you want to be able to write for those. Okay, like you can't rank at a lower, when the keyword difficulty is 50, right? Like we know that. But here's the difference between that and a story. A story is all about volume. So tomorrow we're going to dig into or in the next video, you're going to dig into finding the keywords that have a higher search volume. Okay, because when there's enough search, then people are seeing it. Okay. If that search volume is only 10, and I've seen that, had people send me their stories, and I'm like, the search volume has 10 per month. Like you're not going to get any traction with this. Okay. So that's the difference. Okay. The other big difference is stories. You can do a second story. You can use the same exact keywords if it's doing well. We have one on the sewing channel that is chairs, and about your stories last for about 20 days is what I kind of figured with data, just looking at the peaks and what it does. So, maybe once a month you want to do one on what is your best performing thing. If you've went through all your keywords, then you could just repeat. It just puts a 2 or 3. You can't do that with post, right? Like you can't re-index and try to get it higher. Like you just can't. So that's the biggest difference. Okay. You got to kind of get it out of your brain that these are exactly the same. They're not. Okay. They're looked at differently. They have different criteria. So I want you to really, I think it'll make sense. But if this is something like, honey, I'm not really sure, then message me, ask me in the Facebook group. Okay. And be like, okay, so if I ever got this blog post, what's a web story I could use for that? Okay. Easy freezy. We can figure that out. Okay. Okay. So a little bit of homework. And today's a little bit lighter just because I want you to kind of get to the place where you're doing the things. Okay. So I want you, because it's fourth quarter, I want you to pick 8 to 10 posts. Okay. Do they have great affiliate income? Do they typically do well in December? Now, you may be telling me, Connie, I don't know how to figure that out. Okay. So let me show you right quick how I do that. So you're going to go into, let me do this. You're going to go into your search console. Okay. Okay. And then you're going to click right here. You see this little blue button that says date, and it usually says last 3 months. Okay. You're going to do a custom. If you've been blogging for over a year, then I want you to do a date range. Okay. So you're going to filter it. You're going to do custom. I would go September to the end of December. Okay. And then you're just going to apply. Wait. Okay. So then I want you to also click this and look at average position. Okay. And then I want you to look, I want you to click clicks and go to your highest. Okay. What were your highest performing blog posts for fourth quarter? Okay. I want you to make a list of those. Okay. So literally you can do here. Now, these are queries. Okay. So what I want you to do is do it by pages. Because queries are just the keywords people were searching. Okay, so do it by pages. And again, I want the highest number of clicks. Okay, so then I want you to pick your top 8, 10, 12, whatever that is. Okay, you could go ahead and do your whole list of them. Okay, but these are all things that did really well a year ago. Okay, now if you're a newer blog, okay, my sewing blog that I work with, we don't have a year worth of data. Okay, so then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to look through those blog posts and I'm going to say, what would do well? What are people searching for Christmas? What are they trying to complete? Okay, what food are they doing? If you're a food blogger, if you're a craft blogger, what type of crafts are they going to make? Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Okay. I want you to really kind of think about that on a sheet of paper, on a Google Doc, and you can literally copy and paste it, put it in a Google Doc. It's the easiest way to do it. Okay, I want you to put in at least 10. Okay, if you want to go ahead and figure out for the next 3 months, then take a couple of hours, screenshot it, and put it in there. Okay, that's going to help you when we start to work on keywords tomorrow. Okay, so before you head to the next video, that's a must. Okay, because if not, you're going to have to come back anyway. Okay, so the homework is a must because I'm going to take that list and I'm going to show you then how I would search for keywords. Okay, so homework. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, you can email me, message me, ask in the Facebook group, whatever that is. Okay, but it's essential before we go to keyword research that you have a list of 10 to 12. Okay, and again, if you don't like, our sewing blog, like we've only been at this since May. So I don't have stuff from last year, okay? But I know from looking at our blog posts what people are going to be working on, okay? If you're unsure, ask, okay? It's easy for me to go in there and kind of look and say, okay, here's the things. But you really want the fourth quarter is great for affiliate, okay? It could also be that you may look at this and say, what blog post do I need to write? Okay, what do I need to put on the back burner and what do I need to be writing now to be prepared for fourth quarter? Okay, so ask those questions. Okay, I love the strategy. I love figuring out those pieces. So that's your homework. Okay, and then in the next video, we're going to talk about keyword research. We're going to dive deep. Okay, so come with a piece of paper, come with a pen, because you're going to want to dive a little bit deeper into this. Okay, so anyway, questions, ask them in the Facebook group or message me. Okay. We'll see you guys in the next video.